Okay, so I've adjusted a little bit of coding stuff, and now we're going to try and get you to this stage. So all I've really achieved here is I have put in my banner in a header div, and then I have added a repeating background image. So let me delete all of that code, and then I'm going to retype it for you now. So if you're trying to follow along, then just pause the video right now, and you should be able to copy this code, and you will have something that looks exactly like this, so long as you've named your images exactly what I've named my images. So background tile and banner, if those are the same names you have and you type in this code right here, then you will achieve exactly what you're seeing with your own images. I'm, however, going to delete it all, and we're going to start right from here. So let me delete this header tag here as well. This is probably where you're going to be, somewhere that looks a little bit like this when you start your new site. So now what I want to do is I actually want to add the style again. So I know I showed that before. Let's do it one more time. So if I go to CSS Designer tag, then I can say add right here, so add CSS Source and define in page. If you do not have Dreamweaver, all you need to do is type this. So type style, type text CSS /style. So that's the opening tag and the closing tag for your style. I'm going to hit enter a couple times just to open it up so that I have space inside. And then now I can start defining styles when I'm ready to do that. So I'm actually going to create the content first, and then I'm going to start defining the styles. So that seems like you won't really be able to see anything happening for a moment up here, but you will see it down here. So once again, here's my body, opening and closing. I've opened it up a little bit so you can see. And now I am actually going to add my header. So in this case, I am going to type div. And you can see when I start typing, it guesses what I'm trying to do. And a lot of times if you click, it will, I think you double click, it'll create what you're trying to create. So in that case, all I did was close that first tag, and Dreamweaver knew exactly what I was trying to do, and it closed the div tag for me. Now I'm going to go back into this opening tag. I'm actually going to hit enter just to push that down. I'm going to go back into this opening tag here, and I'm going to add a little bit of information. So this is a div tag, but it's just a secret little box hanging out in the middle of nowhere. I need to give it a name, and I need to tell it, hey, when you're ready to look like something, go look like this. So I'm going to hit space, ID equals, and then I'm going to give it a name. And so in this case, I'm just going to call this header. And then I'm going to hit space, and then I should be able to type in class equals, and then in this case, I want the class to be called header. And that's it. So what this did is it created a box. It says, hey box, your name, your ID is header, and your look, what you're going to look like, is called header as well. Now I have to tell this box what to look like in my style. So I'm going to go back up to style, and I'm going to create this header CSS. So what I need to hit is dot header. What that dot is it says this style rule can be applied to anything that calls that name. That's the dot is just a dot. Just trust me, put it there. I'm going to put a curly Q bracket. It's going to automatically close that curly Q bracket because it knows what I'm trying to do. And then I'm going to hit enter just to open it up a little bit so I have some space. Now what I want to do is I actually want to add some things like size, color, background image. So I need to tell it to be the size of the image. So I'm going to hit height, and you can see it pops right up and tells me what I'm looking for, and then I can just keep typing height. I'm going to hit a colon, and then I'm going to type in the size. So I want it to be 200 pixels, and then I end that rule with a semicolon. So now it says, okay, header class, your height is 200 pixels. This div tag is going, okay, my class is header, my height will be 200 pixels. Now I'm going to do the same thing for width. So width, colon, 1000 pixels, close that rule. Next rule is I need to add the background image so that we can actually see this box, because it's now the box is still kind of invisible because there's nothing in it right now. So I'm going to type back, and then you can see background, color, image, etc. So if you were just doing a color, click that one. If you're doing an image, double click that one. And then I just need to add the image now. So I'm going to hit URL. It's guessing what I'm trying to type, and it's correct. and then I'm going to go to, it actually already knows what I'm trying to do. So each time I'm clicking, it's letting me follow along. But essentially, that's what you need to type, and then you just need to close the rule like that. So it should say URL, images, banner. I think I actually need to add quotes around it if I'm right here. So we'll check here. Might be missing something. There's a couple other ways to do it, but background image, URL, header. Let's try it one more time. URL. I'm going to type it by hand this time. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go quote, images, slash. So this is just the file path. It's telling me where it is. Banner. You can see actually as I'm typing it, it actually knows what it is. And then .jpeg. And there you go. So I have this div class header. Class is header. Did I spell that right? And there we go. It should actually be popping up. Let me pause it for a second.